Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're embarking on an incredible 3-week journey through Vietnam, often celebrated as the Dragon of the East. Our mission is to trace a remarkable trip that began, right up in the bustling northern capital, Hanoi, and then wound its way all the way down to the serene southern coasts.
That's right. And for this deep dive, our sources are, well, they're really unique. Detailed firsthand accounts, travel vlogs too, from a recent Dragon Tour 24.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they give this intimate, kind of unfiltered look at the country's incredibly diverse landscapes, its vibrant culture, and naturally, its unforgettable food scene.
Absolutely. So our goal today is really to unpack these experiences, pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge and insight, basically offering you a shortcut to understanding what it's truly like to traverse Vietnam.
Yeah, get beneath the surface a bit.
Exactly. We'll uncover some surprising facts, unique observations along the way. Okay, let's unpack this. So our journey kicks off in Hanoi, and the first impressions, pretty immediate, pretty impactful. Our travelers hit serious humidity and frequent rain right off the plane.
Oh yeah, typical Hanoi weather sometimes.
Right. They found that air-conditioned spots, like the city's, thriving craft beer houses, became essential sanctuaries pretty fast.
I bet. A welcome escape.
Totally. And interestingly, their Airbnb, it was tucked away down this narrow alleyway, and it offered this unexpected pocket of quiet amidst all the city's intense energy.
Right, which is surprising for Hanoi. So as they went deeper into the city, they really started to see how the urban environment showed its unique character.
How so?
Well, St. Joseph's Church, for instance. It really stands out, a focal point in the Old Quarter. You hear the bells chiming through the busy streets. And speaking of the Old Quarter, the sources vividly describe just how dense it is. A maze, basically, of narrow alleyways, packed housing, businesses, all crammed in. And this layout, we learned, it isn't just some random design choice. It actually goes back to how property used to be taxed.
Wait, really? Taxed how?
Based on the width of the building's street frontage. So naturally, people build narrow but very, very deep houses to minimize the tax.
That's fascinating. So the architecture itself tells a story about, historical tax policy. That's the kind of specific insight you just don't get from a standard guidebook.
Exactly. It shows how history is just, woven into the fabric of daily life there, even in the shape of the buildings.
Do they feel that history just sort of permeating the city?
Absolutely. But maybe the most humbling experience in Hanoi was at the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum.
Oh, right. Tell us about that.
I mean, picture this. Thousands of people queuing for over an hour, even in the pouring rain.
Every day.
Every single day, year-round, this daily ritual, seeing so many people doing it, whatever the weather.
Yeah.
It's not just about, historical figure. It's like a living testament to this enduring reverence for national unity, for independence in Vietnam. It shows this profound sense of collective memory.
Wow, that scale of homage, that must be incredibly powerful to witness.
It really was, according to the sources.
Okay, moving to the maybe lighter side, the culinary side. Hanoi offers this incredible mosaic of street food. Our travelers saw everything from Saigon beer served with ice, which might surprise some people.
Yeah, common there, less so elsewhere.
To really unique pho variations. I mean, the sources even mentioned pho with chicken intestines and chicken crowns.
That's right. And for anyone wondering, chicken crowns usually means the rooster's comb. It's actually quite a distinct and prized part in some traditional Asian cooking.
Okay.
And pho #10, by the way, gets a special mention, a very famous spot for pho in Hanoi.
Good to know. Wow. Chicken intestines and crowns. Adventurous. What about the more well-known stuff, like the famous egg coffee? Did they try that?
Oh, they certainly did. It's that unique mix, right? Condensed milk, whisked eggs, strong espresso.
And the verdict?
The description was Tia Maria soup.
Haha. Okay, I can kind of imagine that.
Yeah, and a guided food tour was apparently a real highlight. It took them beyond the usual pho and spring rolls to what they called weird and wonderful concoctions.
Like what?
Dried beef salad was one. And get this, egg beer.
Egg beer. Seriously.
Where? At the original Jang Cafe, the place famous for inventing egg coffee. Apparently they do an egg beer too.
Wow. Okay, my mind is slightly blown.
Yeah.
Did they manage to squeeze in any of the famous evening spots like the night market or Train Street? Or were they too full of egg beer?
Haha, they briefly mentioned seeing those vibrant evening spots, yeah. But then from Hanoi's buzz, the journey shifted towards the coast to Halong Bay.
Ah, Halong Bay. Iconic. How was the trip getting there?
Pretty smooth, actually. A minibus from Hanoi. They mentioned the service stops along the way were thankfully not those honey tracks you sometimes find.
Right, where everything costs a fortune.
Exactly. Prices were reasonable, even cheaper for coffee than back in Hanoi, they said.
Good tip.
Yeah.
And the cruise itself, I heard there was a bit of a surprise.
Oh, a massive surprise. So there was a booking error initially. The company missed one person, but they handled it really well, very smoothly.
Okay.
But then they get this unexpected upgrade to the presidential suite. Yes. Complete with a jacuzzi, a massage chair, front of boat views. It was a slight step up from their initial expectation, which was more like a hammock on a cocky boat.
Oh my God, can you imagine? From hammock to presidential suite? That's incredible luck.
Totally. And the onboard dining sounded pretty great, too. Buffet lunch with oven-roasted oysters.
Oysters.
Yeah, and a delicious dinner. Then guests had a choice. Squid fishing or happy hour.
Tough call for some, maybe.
Right. Our travelers did some kayaking and swimming in the bay, described it as totally once in a lifetime. Though honestly, with that suite, they admitted they skipped the optional Tai Chi and cave hikes to just enjoy the upgrade.
I don't blame them one bit. Soaking in the jacuzzi, watching the karsts go by.
Hey, pretty much. And the overall feeling, their consensus, and it seems common, is that a 2-day, 1-night trip is actually just right for Halong Bay. You see the main sights, get the experience without it dragging.
Good to know. So after Halong, a quick stop back in Hanoi, and then north.
North, indeed, up to Sapa in the mountains.
How did they get there?
Another transport adventure. A comfortable overnight train from Hanoi this time. They called it the Golden Peerage.
So fancy.
It sounded pretty decent. Came with snacks, water, cabin had USB outlets. Even the 6-foot traveler in the group said it was comfortable enough for a night's sleep.
Nice. And Sapa itself. Big change from Hanoi and Halong Bay, I imagine?
Huge change. Sapa town is nestled way up in the northern highlands. Stunning mountain scenery and noticeably cooler weather, which was apparently a very welcome relief after Hanoi's humidity.
Ah, yes. And the food up there? Different again.
Definitely. They dove right into the local stuff, tried bancoon, that's steamed rice flour batter rolled up with pork and mushroom,
Oh, sounds good.
and fresh salmon, which was surprising maybe, but Sapa has salmon farms. They had it as sashimi and in a hot pot.
Wow, salmon hot pot.
Yeah. And a surprising little highlight was pickled garlic with chili. They said the taste was unique and addictive.
Interesting. Any standout places?
Well, they stayed somewhere pretty luxurious, the Hotel de la Coupe. Its absinthe bar got a special mention. Amazing views, really unique architecture. Apparently the whole hotel's decor was quite something.
Right. But the main event in Sapa, the real reason to go up there for many, is Fansipan, isn't it? The roof of Indochina.
Exactly. That was the big adventure.
How did they prep for that? Big climb.
Right. Well, first step was fueling up. They mentioned an absolutely extensive breakfast buffet at their hotel.
Yeah.
Like everything imaginable. Banh mi station, pho station, Japanese pudding, full English breakfast. You name it.
Sounds like the perfect fuel. And the ascent itself, just hiking straight up.
Oh no, it's quite a multi-stage journey these days. First, a funicular train from Sapa town. Then a huge record-breaking cable car ride up the mountain.
Wow.
And then another funicular, like a mountain railway, to get right to the very peak, which is at 3,143 meters.
Okay, that's high. Over 10,000 feet.
Yeah, and this is where things got unexpectedly tough, the altitude.
The thin air?
Exactly. Even though they'd taken transport most of the way, the altitude really hit them. One of our travelers experienced dizziness. Their heart rate shot up to 129 just standing still.
Whoa.
Shortness of breath. Every step, even just walking around the summit area, became a real challenge.
That's a crucial insight, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You might think taking cable cars makes it easy, but the altitude itself is a physical challenge regardless of how you get up there.
Absolutely. It's something people really need to be prepared for, even if you're fit.
So after conquering the peak, metaphorically speaking, what next?
They descended, partly by cable car again, into Cat Village.
Oh, I've heard of that. Touristy.
Their description was over-the-top tourist spot. You know, lots of ethnic villages set up selling trinkets, people dressed up for photos.
Right.
But they also noted it does provide crucial income for the local Hmong communities. So it's that complex relationship again between tourism and local economies.
A common theme. Okay, so after the mountains of Sapa, back down to Hanoi briefly.
Yeah, just a quick pit stop before the next major leg. Heading south, down the coast, train again.
Train again, yes. This time to Da Nang. But this train experience sounded quite different from the Sapa one.
Oh, how How so?
Apparently, much more comfortable. They even mentioned getting free beer and the group had private cabin access. Definitely felt like an upgrade from the overnight journey north.
Nice. Free beer on a train journey, can't complain. And dang, what were the highlights there?
They stayed in a studio apartment with a view of the famous Dragon Bridge.
Ah, yes, the fire-breathing one.
That's the one. Culinary finds included some local specialties like boiled chicken rice. Simple but delicious, apparently. And the more adventurous fried frog.
Fried frog. Okay, they weren't afraid to try things.
Seems like it. And the beach. My T or my Ann Beach.
Yeah, they checked it out. Interesting contrast, they said. Really quiet during the heat of the day, but then at sunset, pretty manic. Hundreds of people suddenly appeared, swimming, enjoying the cooler air, often followed by cocktails nearby.
Sounds like a great routine. Now, Da Nang is also known for seafood.
Oh, absolutely. And this raises a really important question, you know? Just how much incredible seafood can you actually get for your money in Vietnam?
Okay, tell me more.
They went to a place called My Han Seafood Restaurant. Picture this. Tanks everywhere, full of live lobsters, crabs, prawns. You choose what you want.
Wow, the dream. What did they pick?
They went for it. Grilled lobster with garlic paste, crab and Singapore sauce, grilled squid, oysters, prawns. A proper feast.
Okay, that sounds amazing. But the cost must have been pricey.
That's the kicker. The total cost for that massive spread, only $105 US.
Yet out for all of that. Lobster, crab, everything.
Their words, cheap as chips. Just incredible value.
Unbelievable. Okay, Da Nang seafood is officially on my list. Anywhere else near Da Nang?
They did a trip to Bunay Hills, accessed by cable car like Fansipan. But their description, Disneyland-like? Yeah, a huge tourist hub, swarming with hundreds of tour coaches. It really brings up that point about Vietnam navigating this balance, you know? Yeah. Preserving authentic charm versus embracing these big, modern tourist developments.
Right. It's changing the travel experience in some places, moving maybe from cultural immersion towards pure entertainment.
Exactly. And that leads nicely into the next stop, Hoi An, the ancient town. Famous for its charm, but also complex flavors.
Yes, Hoi An. Visually just beautiful, right? The famous mustard yellow walls exploring by bicycle. Sounds idyllic.
Totally. Super charming atmosphere. But the food scene there, it presented some interesting contradictions for them.
Like what? Did they try the famous local dishes?
They did. They tried khao lao. That's the one with the special thick noodles, pork, herbs, and a unique sweet and sour vinegar sauce.
Okay.
And they also tried the highly recommended white rose dumplings and something called Hoi An pizza, which is more like a crispy pancake.
Sounds good.
But they found them surprisingly sweet, like unexpectedly sugary for savory dishes. It caused, as they put it, a bit of a brain fart for their taste buds.
Sweet, savory dishes. Okay, so what does that mean? Was it just those specific places, or?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. The big revelation came later at a cooking school they took.
What did they learn?
The local chef basically explained that traditionally Vietnamese people love sugar in their cooking. It's a common flavor profile, much more so than many Western palates are used to, even in savory food.
Wow, okay.
And the chef showed them how adjusting the levels of sugar and fish sauce could completely transform the taste. Dishes like bon gio, that crispy crepe, and beef noodle salad, which they'd also found a bit sweet initially, suddenly became amazing once they tweaked the balance to their preference.
That is a huge takeaway. It highlights how easily cultural palate differences can be mistaken for a dish being, like, wrong or badly made.
Exactly. It forces you to question your own taste biases when you travel, doesn't it? Maybe it's not too sweet. Maybe it's just Vietnamese sweet.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the underlying cultural preferences, not just the ingredients. It's real insight. So did they enjoy Hoi An more after that revelation?
Seems like it. And they definitely enjoyed the evening magic, seeing the famous lanterns all lit up, the boats on the river, especially beautiful after the rain cleared.
Sounds lovely. Okay, the journey continues south, down the coast. Where to next?
Next stop was Quay An. A bit more off the beaten path, perhaps.
Right. I was getting there.
Well, the day train from Da Nang was reportedly quite uncomfortable, hot long. It actually prompted them to decide to switch to a private car for future long-distance legs.
Smart move sometimes. So Queen Anne, what's fascinating there?
The seafood experience again, but in a totally different way. This was amazing. Picture tables and chairs just set up right on the beach stand.
Okay.
And the local fishing boats pull right up, bringing in their daily catch lobsters, fish, snails, everything directly to these little pop-up beach restaurants.
Seriously. Cooked right there.
Cooked right there on the spot. It's fresh as it possibly gets.
That sounds incredible. Talk about seat at table.
Exactly. And the value. Again, just mind-blowing.
Even better than Daga.
Get this. Oysters. 40 US cents each.
40 cents.
An 800-gram lobster, just $26.
Wow.
They had a huge feast. Clams, prawns, oysters, king prawns, that lobster, sea urchins, fried rice, beers. The total bill was a shocking $54.
$54 for all that, including lobster and sea urchins? That's insane value.
Totally. They described the sea urchins, by the way, as having this unique taste. Ocean-flavored egg yolks, creamy.
Huh? Intriguing. Did they do anything else in Queenon besides eat amazing seafood?
Well, that was clearly the highlight. But they did explore a nearby fisherman's village, got a glimpse of local life, tried some local breakfast pork rolls, too.
Nice. Okay, so from the quiet coast of Queenon, where does the Dragon Tour end?
The grand finale was Ho Chi Minh City, Saigon.
The big southern metropolis. How was the arrival?
An early morning arrival after another long train ride. This must have been before they switched to the car.
Right. And in Saigon.
Yeah.
More historical focus.
Yeah, definitely shifted towards landmarks there. They visited Notre Dame Cathedral, though it was under renovation, still impressive. And the Central Post Office, that was a real highlight, built between 1886 and 1891, designed by Eiffel, or at least Gustav Eiffel's company.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful architecture inside, original old calling boxes still there, and a big portrait of Uncle Ho watching over everything.
Cool. Any green spaces? Big cities need parks.
They briefly mentioned Book Street, which sounded charming. Apparently it has a library inside an old bus.
Fun.
And April 30th Park nearby. Just nice spots to soak in the city vibe.
And accommodation.
Yeah.
After the quiet alley in Hanoi and the luxury in Sapa.
Another unique find, an Airbnb that was a converted, very narrow shop house, renovated with lots of historical charm. They mentioned an old TV, a typewriter, even old propaganda speakers, and a sewing machine as decor.
It sounds like it had a real character. And the final Saigon experiences. Food, nightlife.
Yep. Explored the bustling Ben Thanh market, though they noted prices were higher than up in Hanoi.
Ah, the tourist effect, maybe.
Could be. They did a craft beer tasting 11 beers at East West Brewing Company.
Ambitious.
Enjoyed some spicy passion fruit margaritas and tacos at a place called Banditos. And then finished the whole trip with the celebratory steak dinner at Sia Steakhouse.
A fitting end to a massive journey. Okay, so after this incredible whirlwind, 3 weeks packed with experiences. Let's reflect. Top highlights, surprises.
Yeah, let's distill it down. Favorite destinations. There's a really interesting contrast here.
Oh.
One traveler definitely leaned towards Sapa, loved the cooler climate, the challenge and achievement of Fansipan at 3,143 meters. That mountain experience really resonated.
Right, the cooler weather alone would be a huge plus after the heat. But beyond that, what made Sapa stand out from an insight perspective? Was it the views, the trek, the culture? For me, thinking about their experiences, Queenon sounds incredible.
Ah, interesting. Why Queenon for you?
Just that image of the secluded beach, the seafood coming straight off the boats, that unparalleled freshness, and the value. I mean, $53 for that huge feast with a $24 lobster. That combination of unique experience and unbelievable value is just, wow.
That's a really powerful contrast, isn't it? Mountains versus coast, challenge versus relaxation and value. Shows how Vietnam offers such different things.
Totally. What about surprising dishes? We talked about a few weird ones.
Yeah, on the surprising front, two stood out for different reasons. The salmon hot pot in Sapa was just a genuinely new and delicious culinary experience they hadn't expected up there.
Okay.
But the real eye-opener, the one that came with that deeper understanding, was bonzio, remember?
Right. Initially disappointing because it was so sweet in Hoi An.
Exactly. But then, after the cooking class, learning that sweetness is intentional and learning how to adjust the sugarfish sauce balance for their own taste, it became a favorite.
That's brilliant. It really makes you think, like we said, about cultural expectations of taste and how they shape our enjoyment. It wasn't a bad dish, just different.
Precisely. It shifted from, this is wrong, to, oh, this is how it is, and I can tweak it.
Love that. Okay, memorable experiences.
Yeah.
Beyond the food and places.
Well, for the traveler who loved Sapa, conquering Fansipan clearly made a huge personal impression, a sense of achievement.
Right, that physical challenge.
But for the other traveler, reflecting back, it was that humbling experience at the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum. Seeing those thousands queuing in the rain, that daily act of homage, that really stuck.
Yeah, I can see why. That speaks volumes about the country's history and collective identity.
And they also mentioned the impressive architecture of the Central Post Office in Saigon again as just a visually memorable moment.
If we connect this to the bigger picture then, What cultural differences or observations really stood out across the trip?
A few key things. That pervasive use of sugar we discussed in Vietnamese cuisine, even sometimes in tea, often surprising for Western palates.
Hmm.
Then there was the observation about the commercialization of some tourist sites. Sun World, Vinpearl, Boldona Hills, feeling a bit like Disneyland, as they put it. That clear tension between traditional charm and modern, large-scale tourism development.
Right, that delicate dance.
The very specific practical observation, the assertive Hey Mung vendors in Sapa. Apparently, they learned a surprising tip sometimes. Speaking loud to them helped deter the constant hassling. No idea why, but it worked for them.
Huh, that's a random but potentially useful tip.
Mm.
Okay, final thoughts from them, if they could revisit or change anything.
The desire to revisit Sapa was strong, but specifically for a more authentic experience, maybe a Hey Mong trekking and homestay, away from the main town bustle.
Right, get deeper into the culture.
Exactly. But if they could change one thing, it would definitely be the constant hassling from some vendors, particularly noted in Sapa Town.
Yeah, that highlights that common tension, doesn't it? Wanting local interaction but finding the commercial aspect sometimes overwhelming. Is that balance again?
It really is. Between authentic cultural immersion and the complexities that tourism brings.
Well, this deep dive has definitely shown us the incredible diversity, the sheer depth of experiences possible on a journey through Vietnam. From those intense cities to stunning nature, hidden culinary gems, it's got so much.
Absolutely. And I think what this deep dive really underlines is that knowing what to look for, and maybe more importantly, knowing what questions to ask, like about that sugar in the food, can completely transform a cultural and culinary experience.
That's a great point.